Picture this: California in the 1960s. The sun is shining, the waves are crashing, teenagers are flocking to the beach. They're drawn by the thrill of surfing. This is the birth of a cultural phenomenon. Surfing had been around for a while, but in the 60s, it exploded. Lightweight boards made it easier than ever. Suddenly, everyone wanted to ride the waves. Surfing became more than a hobby, it became a lifestyle. This lifestyle was all about freedom, adventure, and fun. Surfers lived for the moment, chasing the perfect wave. They embraced a laid-back attitude that permeated California culture, and they needed a soundtrack. This is where surf music comes in. It captured the energy and excitement of surfing and the California lifestyle. It was the sound of a generation finding its voice, and it all started with a few pioneers who dared to ride the airwaves. Surf music wasn't just about the beach. It was a fusion of different genres. Rock and roll provided the driving beat. Country and western added a touch of twang, but it was the influence of instrumental music that truly set surf music apart. Think of those iconic surf guitar riffs. They're fast, they're furious, and they're instantly recognizable. Guitarists like Dick Dale pushed the boundaries of what the instrument could do. They used reverb and echo to create a sound that was both raw and ethereal. The drums were equally important. They pounded out a relentless rhythm that mirrored the crashing waves. The bass guitar provided a solid foundation, keeping the music grounded. And then there were the vocals. Some surf bands were purely instrumental. Others featured vocal harmonies that were pure California sunshine. Songs about surfing, girls, and cars filled the airwaves. They painted a picture of a carefree lifestyle that resonated with teenagers across America. No history of surf music would be complete without mentioning Dick Dale. Known as the king of the surf guitar, Dale's music was raw, powerful, and undeniably surf. His signature song, Monsieur Lou, became an anthem for a generation. Dale's music was characterized by its breakneck speed and ferocious guitar solos. He pioneered new playing techniques, even collaborating with Leo Fender to develop amplifiers that could handle his loud, distorted sound. Then there were the Beach Boys. Led by Brian Wilson, the band captured the sunnier side of surf music. Their harmonies were tight, their melodies were infectious, and their lyrics perfectly captured the youthful spirit of the era. While not all of their songs were strictly about surfing, they evoked the same feelings of freedom and joy. Hits like Surfin' USA, California Girls, and Good Vibrations became synonymous with the California sound. Surf music didn't just play on the radio. It found a natural home in the burgeoning genre of surf films. These low-budget movies often featured surfing footage interspersed with comedic storylines. And the soundtracks? Pure surf music, of course. Films like Gidget and Beach Blanket Bingo introduced surfing and its accompanying music to a wider audience. Teenagers flocked to drive-in theaters to watch these films, and the music helped solidify the connection between surfing, music, and a particular lifestyle. The music in these films wasn't just background noise, it was an integral part of the experience, heightening the excitement of the surfing scenes and adding to the overall carefree atmosphere. The popularity of surf films undoubtedly helped propel surf music into the mainstream. Section 5. Beyond the Beach, Surf Music's Cultural Impact. Surf music wasn't just about the music, it was a cultural phenomenon that reflected the changing times. The early 1960s were a time of optimism and prosperity in America. Young people had a newfound sense of freedom. And surf music became the soundtrack of their rebellion. It represented a break from the traditional values of their parents' generation. It was about having fun, living in the moment, and challenging the status quo. The music's energy and rebellious spirit resonated with teenagers across the country. Surf music also helped to popularize surfing itself. As the music spread, so did the desire to experience the surfing lifestyle. Surf shops popped up everywhere, selling boards, wetsuits, and anything else a budding surfer might need. The music and the sport became inextricably linked. Section 6. The reverb lingers, surf music's enduring legacy. By the mid-1960s, the initial wave of surf music had crested. The British invasion, led by the Beatles, brought a new sound to the airwaves. But surf music didn't disappear. It went underground, evolving and influencing other genres. Many of the original surf bands continued to perform, finding new audiences in the burgeoning psychedelic rock scene. The instrumental prowess of surf guitarists like Dick Dale influenced countless musicians. The Ventures, another iconic surf rock band, continued to release albums well into the 1970s. And the spirit of surf music never truly faded. Its influence can still be heard in various genres today, from punk rock to indie pop. The sound of the surf guitar, with its reverb-drenched tone and infectious energy, continues to inspire musicians around the world. Section 7, From Beach Bonfires to Global Stages, the Evolution of Surf Rock. While the initial wave of surf music might have subsided, it didn't disappear. Instead, it evolved, incorporating new sounds and influences. Bands like the Shantays, known for their instrumental hit Pipeline, continued to push the boundaries of surf rock. The genre also found a home in other parts of the world. In Australia, bands like the Atlantics and the Denver Broncos were riding their own wave of surf rock success. In Europe, instrumental surf bands like the Shadows from England and the Spotniks from Sweden gained international fame. This global embrace of surf rock demonstrated its lasting appeal. The music's ability to evoke feelings of freedom, adventure, and pure joy transcended cultural boundaries. And as the genre evolved, it paved the way for new generations of musicians to put their own spin on the classic surf sound. Section 8. Catching the next wave, surf music's influence today. Fast forward to today, and surf music is experiencing a resurgence in popularity. New bands are drawing inspiration from the pioneers while adding their own contemporary twist. From the garage rock revivalists to the lo-fi indie bands, the influence of surf music can be heard in countless genres. Modern surf rock isn't just about replicating the past. It's about capturing the same spirit of freedom and adventure that defined the original movement. It's music that makes you want to get up and dance, to hit the beach, or to just cruise down the highway with the windows down. The legacy of surf music extends beyond the music itself. It represents a time and a place, a feeling of youthful exuberance and endless possibility. And as long as there are waves to ride and dreams to chase, the spirit of surf music will continue to live on.